Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. I'm down here at the New Breed Leopold Pro-Am ASA tournament in Appling, Georgia. I'm here with elite pro shooter Cara Kelly. Cara spoke to us on our blog about sight tapes, the importance of sight tapes, getting them set up accurately. But obviously, Cara, if you don't put the sight tape correct when you're at the shooting line, you need to judge the yardage right to get that correct. And here we are on this bright sunny day with shadows. That has to mess with your system. What do you do in a setting like this?
Well, you know what? Every target looks so different in every single type of setting, depending on size, depending on the actual set, shadowy days, sunny days.
Yeah.
And, it's really tricky because you really have to pay attention to all those factors. There's some times where they can put a target at, 42 yards that'll look like it's 38 and it's in a bright, shining hole and it looks like it's on top of you. And there's other times where it can be in a bright field and look forever. It can look a mile away. So it's all based on the trees and the type of setting that goes into it. And judging the yardage is a huge component, and making sure you're getting the right pin placement when you have all these shadows going on too. So getting the number, making the shot, sometimes you gotta turn your pin up really bright just to be able to see it on the bright targets. And other times you just want that, you've got a lot of shadows going down there and you're standing in the bright light, and you got to have an umbrella, and there's just so many factors that go into this type of, I love an overcast day.
Nice even light. Everybody likes that.
Yeah.
So when you're looking down in a setting like this, if there can obviously be sunlight and shadows on the target. Are you focusing on the target when you're doing that, or are you looking at things in between, all of the above?
Well, I judge with a variance of things. So I walk up and I kind of get a roundabout number, and then I judge, in my 5-yard increments all the way to the target, and then I look from my 20 to the target, and then I really look at the animal. I'm fortunate enough to have targets at my home, and my husband moves them all the time, which is amazing. And so I'm lucky enough that I get to see a lot of targets. So I don't have to get down here and necessarily do a jam session, and try to cram all this stuff right into, an hour-long period. So usually I can come down, I can see the woods, it's kind of thick. We've got some grown-up foliage, and it looks like a lot of dips and valleys and stuff going on in the terrain. So that'll make it interesting, to say the least. So I'll probably be relying a lot on the body of the animal throughout the weekend.
And then obviously the last thing is to get that sight tape on the correct number.
Yes. You never want to misset your sight. But it's, making sure that you're playing the game. Yeah. And when you're judging yardage, a lot of times what I say to myself is, what's going to get me a 10? What number, if I'm not sure here, is going to get me a safe 10? How can I come out par on this animal? Right. And then if you fall into a couple here or there, great. If you call upper, you've added 1.5 yards and you think, you know what, I'm just going to call upper because the chances of me shooting center and rising up into it are high. Mm-hmm. So you just got to kind of learn how to play that game and figure out course management is the key. Which ones am I going to gun for and which ones am I not going to? So.
There you have it. Great advice from Cara Kelly. She's shooting in the Women's Open Pro class here, Appling, Georgia.